We welcome to the program food writer John Gilchrist, giving us his picks on the best heritage restaurants to hit as part of our Downtown's Best Bites series. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And so much to dig into in downtown Calgary, and
so
it's
many.
a great time to stay in the city.
And beautiful old buildings that we have here that have a lot of old bank buildings that have been converted into restaurants. And there's some lovely ones around the downtown area. And it's great to go in and look at the history as much as the food. And do you know the Bay downtown?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's not just one building, it's three.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was built 1913 and then 1930 and then in 1958. The first two buildings were built onto 7th Avenue, and the third one was the whole south section that we see now. If you look at the outside of the building, you can tell where the buildings are joined.
Is that right?
The Guild now occupies the south side of the main floor,
Yep.
and also that beautiful colonnade on the south side where they've got a huge patio built in there. And this is done by Oliver and Bonaccini. It's a big company out of Toronto. They have a whole bunch of restaurants there. I think it's 9 in the Toronto area. And Chef Ryan O'Flynn, who is the exec chef here at the Guild, has created a very Canadian style of menu for this great restaurant here. I mean, you can get a 32-ounce strip loin here, a 28-ounce porterhouse. You can get the Canadian styles, things like birch syrup Beijing duck with wild rice and sea buckthorn. You've got big ribs here. You've got lamb shank. Very meat forward. Not that the vegans can go here. The vegetarians will be fine. But yes,
He really focuses on locally sourced. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
O'Flynn, we got that. That looks like that Beretta Farms beef. Beretta Farms from up by Lacombe. They bring that in there and just do a beautiful job with it. Yeah, if you want your meat fix. And they've done a great job of what used to be the hosiery section of the Bay. And
I remember that. That's great.
If you go downstairs, Sub Rosa, a beautiful sort of a nightclubby kind of place. Upstairs, you've got the new Hudson's banquet space up on the 6th floor. They've put a lot of effort and a lot of money into the rebuild on this the old Bay downtown.
Yeah, so make sure to take advantage of your summer days and hit the patio when you can, and then get cozy and maybe have a big piece of steak when winter comes.
You bet.
All right, on to the Belvedere.
Yeah, the Belvedere, I mean, it's one of the older buildings on Stephen Avenue, built in 1899. And I've always enjoyed the Belvedere because you go in and it just sort of takes you right away from the street. And you go through the lounge area into the back room where you've got a beautiful skylight that's original, and you look up through the skylight and you can see the sun shining down there in the dining room, and you get a great view of the Calgary Tower up the top there, the big comfy chairs in the lounge. You can go in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and pretend it's nighttime. And the folks at the Belvedere, they do a great job on kind of a contemporary cuisine. Again, very Canadian, locally sourced style of food here. You're going to find things like veal carpaccio and confit duck thigh with burnt peach chutney.
Yum.
Right now. It's the season for peaches. Crispy duck breast with cassoulet as we get into fall weather. Always intricately prepared, beautifully prepared food here out of a remarkably small kitchen in the back. They just do a terrific job at the Belvedere, and I've always enjoyed the food here. They were one of the first ones that really started the whole movement on Stephen Avenue to the new restaurant. And they've managed to sustain themselves for almost 20 years now, and it's such a beautiful, lovely look in the room, and it just feels very elegant when you're in there. Yes.
Oh, I'm salivating. That looked delicious. Okay, how about Workshop?
Workshop. Now, Workshop is in the Theatre Grand. That, again, is a beautiful old, the Loughy building right downtown on 1st Street and 6th Avenue. And when they redid the theater, they made the theater smaller so that part of the old theater is part of what is now the restaurant in the lobby.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of miss it because there's no outside patio. You have to go into the lobby and walk down this corridor, and then you come out to this restaurant. They've used some of the old running boards and everything that are hanging from the ceiling. It's got a bit of a theatrical workshop bent to it. You can see the old cables hanging from the wall there. And the chef owner here is a fellow named Kenny Cakeley. Now, I've advised many a young chef, if you want to see how a chef runs a kitchen, go and sit at the open bar here and watch how Cakeley does the food and runs the kitchen, works with the staff, both the kitchen staff and the front staff. He is a master of running this kitchen. This food is rich. It's some of the most flavorful food in town. And they do it as multi-course thing. You can get 5 courses here for $55,
Oh,
for
wow.
$80, I should say, pardon me. 3 courses for $55 and 5 for $80. There's Kenny in the back there with the hat. And it's very creative. You'll find milk poached pork loin with black garlic and cipollini onion mashed parsnips here. You get a lamb saddle saltimbocca. It's just beautiful, rich food. Now, some days will be extremely busy because there's a show on in the theater.
Yeah.
Some days less so. So it really comes and goes, but it's always a fascinating experience to sit in workshop and watch what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the Theater Grand, not just a spot for theater, but a spot for food as well.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
okay, great picks this week. Thank you so much. And you'll be back again as part of the Downtown Best Bites series.
You bet.
Always digging into some of the best.